Now a Target 12 investigators exclusive underwater ops.
A specialized state police unit trained in underwater operations.
The deeper you go, the shorter time that you have.
Deployed when the depths of the sea have become an underwater crime scene.
We found the body.
The 9-member team trains regularly, preparing for multiple scenarios that often put the divers at risk themselves.
Target 12 investigator Tim White joined the elite unit as they trained off the coast of Jamestown.
Crime scenes can be complicated in the best of conditions. Imagine handling evidence deep below the surface of the water.
All right, morning, gentlemen.
It's a training scenario the State Police Marine Unit has encountered in real life.
They're investigating a potential disposal of a body.
Somewhere off the coast of Fort Wetherill in Jamestown, a rescue mannequin is waiting to be found.
Unknown where. We've already interviewed the witness.
And the oceans around Rhode Island can be unforgiving.
The visibility is not great. It's not like going to dive in the Caribbean. Visibility is sometimes 6 inches, so lights are out.
For that reason, no state police diver ever goes in the water alone.
If this fails, then you get a problem.
Something dive team leader Sergeant Ryan Mahoney knows too well.
The further down you go, the more compression that happens.
Who once got entangled on an object on an underwater mission.
If something does go wrong, it's keeping you cool, and then having your buddy keep you cool. Safety is our #1 priority because, you know, you're going in for a body recovery. You don't want to go in for another one.
As each member enters the water,
stay on the line, arms length apart. Stay on line, head out. Hopefully we'll run into it.
They need to keep a tight formation. You're seeing what they did, the murky water impacting visibility. Then after several minutes, the body reveals itself through the haze. On the surface, a dive team member confirms the find.
We found the body.
The divers use air from their own tanks to inflate a device that shoots the body to the surface. But it's not just a recovery mission. Dive team members act as crime scene investigators, using cameras to document evidence, looking for other clues, and in this case, signs that this was no accident.
Body had a weight belt on it, so that was obviously documented. He has that. That's part of the evidence.
In December, the state police dive team was activated for the recovery of a pregnant woman who had been murdered and submerged in the icy waters of Carbuncle Pond in Coventry, and in East Providence, they helped recover the body of a man whose truck went into the water. Have you been on those operations?
Yes.
What's that like?
There's no way to really mentally prepare yourself for them. You have that understanding when you take on this task, this role.
Part of the job?
Part of the job, yes. Use this line to tie it to the boat.
But it is no easy task to join the state police dive team.
Physically, we probably have the most difficult tryout, so to speak, for a specialty unit. It takes a certain mindset to want to do this.
Each member of the team is advanced diver certified and has trained for multiple scenarios, going into tight underwater spaces, even in the middle of the winter, diving with members of the Maine State Police under a thick sheet of ice.
If you're claustrophobic, this isn't for you.
Recovering bodies underwater is among the most sensitive operations they encounter, and while challenging, Mahoney says for them, it's about more than just evidence collection.
It's satisfying to know that you're able to give, a family closure when you do locate a body.
Coming up, new at 6. The operations they conduct above the surface of the water, and a new tool that is on the way to help in their mission. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, 12 News.
New details in a Target 12 investigators exclusive underwater ops.
A specialized unit of the state police called on to conduct search and recovery missions in the ocean, lakes, rivers, or ponds across the state.
Goal is obviously to find evidence or the body in this case.
The state police dive team has quietly worked investigations where the ocean can be a crime scene.
Target 12 investigator Tim White joined the elite unit for their training and is here now with the exclusive details.
The State Police Marine Unit uses different tools on their operations, from a command vehicle to side scan sonar, but one of the most important pieces of equipment is about to get a critical upgrade. It was a vicious stabbing in Providence last year. The victim struck 30 times with a large knife. It's hard to see, but police say at the end of the attack, the video shows the suspect throwing the weapon in the water. Providence detectives called in the state police dive team to find the key piece of evidence. Despite frigid waters and just 10 inches of visibility, the weapon was recovered.
Especially in Rhode Island around here, the visibility is not great. It's not like going to dive in the Caribbean.
It's the kind of operation the state police dive team trains for, conducting underwater search and recovery missions, often for a body.
There's really no way to prepare for it, really, but you have that understanding when you take on this task, this role. Their gear is their lifeline.
Target 12 joined the dive team in Jamestown for training, searching for and recovering a rescue mannequin that had been weighed down.
We found the body.
Using their tanks to fill a device with air and bringing it to the surface. Nearby, a 27-foot safety boat waits to assist in the recovery and evidence gathering, pulling the mannequin to the small deck. Dive team leader Sergeant Ryan Mahoney says while it has served them well for nearly 2 decades, the boat needs an upgrade.
As you can see from the training exercise, the boat that we use right now isn't ideal for a dive operation. Very tight. So, I mean, comfortably you can fit 2 divers in the back.
The state police were awarded a port security grant and a new craft is on the way.
This new boat will comfortably fit 8 divers, and it allowed them to deploy right off the bow of the boat.
The boats are critical for above-the-surface operations as well. You are looking at training video for a hostage situation on board the Block Island ferry, with the Marine unit practicing boarding the ferry and engaging with the bad guys.
This goes with us with every training and every mission we go to.
On shore, this truck is the dive team's lifeline, providing air for the tanks and workspace to map out their mission.
You're in a spot where you're looking for a needle in a haystack.
The dive team has learned that in the ocean state, the water has proven to be a very convenient place to hide stuff that someone doesn't want found. Have you ever been on an operation looking for one thing and found something else?
Yes. Yes. That actually happens more frequently, pretty much always. You find something else in the area. You're always coming across stuff that sometimes it's meant to be found and sometimes it was lost, or thrown overboard.
The state police was awarded the grant this year. Mahoney says he expects the new boat to be in service by 2025. With the Target 12 investigators, Tim White, 12 News.